Everyone, Core here, and time for another midnight review. And finally, it's gonna be a midnight review. Well, early day, anyways. I caught the 6 o'clock showing. I was really happy about this. Caught an early showing, so I got to see it before going into work tonight. So that's nice. And of course, as the title says, I saw Kubo, the two strings. So this was probably my second or third most anticipated movie I wanted to see this year. Well, this summer I should say, not so much this year. This year it's probably like the fifth. Um, but yeah, it's I like was it like Licar? I can't pronounce their name. I'm horrible at pronunciation. But the guys that did Kubo also did Paranorman, also did Coraline, also did the fourth one's just slipping my mind right now. Uh, Box Trolls. There you go. So they've done this claymation, which I love claymation. It's one of those arts that's kind of dying out with more modern technology. So you know how Lego Movie looks like it's real Legos. They actually use CG, but they have a whole in-game engine that makes them look like real Legos. So it's easy to kind of get fooled if you don't know what to look for exactly. But nonetheless, stop motion movies are pretty unique nowadays. These guys are one of the only companies that actually do it, and they do it very well. It's a lot smoother than which the benchmark was, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. They set a lot of standards in the practice and everything, which is are also used in this movie. So that's usually the standard, and that's usually what get a lot of people hooked on the claymation stop motion kind of design, the setup, and everything. So that's what a lot of people compare to. It's the standard, more or less. But it's definitely it's pretty amazing how far they've gone from then to now. Which I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas was 20 years ago, 25 years ago or so. I would say it's like 90 something. So it's pretty impressive, to say the least, in a technology that isn't really, it's kind of hard to really make advances in, whereas like movies and CG and stuff like that are, always changing it up, making things newer, making things interesting, especially in the last 10 years, nonetheless, 20 or 25. So that's something to say. I just want to get that off my chest on that. But yeah, it's probably this movie is really good, really great. It gets going pretty fast. It has its nice slow moments that don't you know it doesn't have that breakneck pace that like some movies do have, like especially the summer and the last couple of years, where it's like they just want to go go go. It takes its time where it needs to. It gives each character its time to grow. There are a few moments that are, I mean, from watching movies so much, uh, I personally, and I'm sure a lot of people could see some tropes that happen a lot, and there are some of those that do happen in this movie that you can kind of see coming. There are little subtle hints and then not so subtle hints, so you kind of see some of the things coming, but nonetheless, it's the journey, and it's really cool storytelling. It's really good storytelling. These guys always like to, they like to tell a story, but not tell the same story, if that makes sense. I don't think it does, but yeah, it's interesting to see what they do in this movie, but it's definitely worth it. Especially if we got kids. Kids seem to like it. There was a few in the audience I went to. Not too many. I don't think this has as much hype as some of the other ones, but I hope a lot of word of mouth gets out there, gives it the credit that it needs. All the voice acting is really good, really well done. The characters, the beetle samurai, the monkey, they're all really good, and they all fit uh, perfectly, to say the least, in this movie. I do like the use of and I'll just forget the name of the instrument, but the instrument he plays, which is pretty interesting because the first thing I thought of is, why is it called Kubo the two strings? And you kind of start to think about that too. I think they might have messed up a little bit somewhere, and which I think it could have been easily fixed. Uh, in one scene that could easily have turned it, because originally it's 3 strings on the little, uh, I can't forget the name of it. Should have looked it up, I guess, before doing this, but I'm a little short on time right now. But yeah, they could have easily. That was the only thing I really kind of didn't like, is why is it called 2 strings when there's more than 2 strings on the instrument string. There are a couple scenes that he does have two, but it's not that. So I'm pretty sure it means something else. It's probably his parents. It's probably his aunts. It's probably, there's a lot of things that could be really. The action scenes are actually really good. I love Steadicam during action scenes, I should say the least, and it's really cool to see the movement. It's very fluid compared to a lot of the other ones, but it does have its little quirks here. Its little nicks and kinks and all that stuff, like here and there, that makes you remember. It's like, man, this took man millions of hours to make, and it's crazy to see it all come together. But yeah, music is really good, acting's really good, the scenery, everything is freaking beautiful. These guys do amazing work with what they have and what they create, and it's not one of the stories that kind of he becomes this badass. Well, he does become a badass at the end, of course, but the stages he takes to get up there are shown pretty well, and it's not this, he's not completely helpless, to say the least, and he kind of realized that with a little guidance. So, good movie. I recommend it to anyone, especially if you see any of the company's previous work. Especially if you see Paranorman. I think Paranorman gave me the chills a little bit better in the story, but this is definitely up there too. So, until next time, guys. Later.